So I recently went down to CGC to do some things down there at their facility in Sarasota. And the day after I arrived in Florida, here in California, a package arrived for me from CGC. I am back in Cali and I've been reunited with some awesome books that I'm going to unpack in this video. If you want to see what the grades are and what has actually come in from CGC, I want to encourage you to stay tuned for the video. Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my videos. In this video, we are going to unbox some books that have arrived from CGC. And these aren't just any books. These are actually a second batch of books that I've sent in from my Pedigree collection. And I think there's some awesome stuff in here. There's actually, I want to say 2 more orders that are at CGC right now that I'm also waiting for to come in. But we're going to unbox this. This is actually a pretty big box of books, but we are going to open it up and see what's inside of here. And I'm going to be honest, I don't remember the exact turnaround time on these books. It's a question that people have been asking me, and I honestly don't remember off the top of my head. I'm sure that I could look it up, but it is not something that I have committed to memory because I was shipping a lot of books around the same time, and sometimes there was like a week or so difference between them. And so again, just kind of lost track. But a lot of bubble wrap in this particular box, and it looks like it had been dropped. So I'm hopeful that everything is going to be okay inside. But CGC does a pretty good job of protecting books en route. So I'm fingers crossed that nothing is damaged on the inside. With this particular box, I did not do a pre-screen, and I'm a huge fan of the pre-screen, but with the books that I sent in here, there was no common grade for them. It was more like, let's send them in, and whatever they come back at, that's how they come back, and I'd be perfectly fine with that. This first one is actually a pretty nice book here. It's a pretty slick book. This is Batman Adventures issue number 12. It is a 9.4. Really cool book right here. And this is a book that came out of the 100K collection. Pretty slick book, 9.4. Not a bad grade on that one at all. Next up, an even better grade. Even better grade on this one. This one actually came back at a 9.6. Both of them have white pages. Really awesome book. This one is going to stay in the collection. I actually have 3 copies of this particular book right now. I have a 9.0 that was never pressed. That's in the collection now. A 9.4 and now a 9.6. So I went from having basically none to 1 to now 3 copies of that particular book. This is a cool one. This is a lot of people love this guy. A lot of people love it. This is Nova #1, a 9.4 right there. Nova, the origin and first appearance of Richard Rider. Very cool book right there. And I want to say that there's at least 1 more copy of that one in here, and it's probably this one. Yep, they did it in order. This is 9.6. Pretty cool grade as well. You know, with some of these things, you of course hope for the 9.6, but I'm sorry, the 9.8. But you know, again, the books have defects. So if they have defects, you can hope for a 9.8 all you want. But at the end of the day, the book is the book. So let's see what this one is. This one is She-Hulk #1. Came back at a 9.2. This one has actually been in the collection for a little while. I've had this one for a while, and it definitely has some imperfections. It did get white pages, which is pretty cool, but this is one that definitely has some defects. And I think that there's 1 more in here that I think is higher than that, if memory serves. And indeed it is. Indeed it is. Again, hope for a 9.8, but then you get the 9.6 and you can't exactly be disappointed. So definitely a cool book right there. Looking forward to actually seeing the She-Hulk TV show that will eventually come out on Disney streaming when the world gets back on its axis. What is this one? Oh, this one is fantastic. This one is really, really cool. This is X-Men Annual number 14. This is a Gambit cameo. This is a cool book. Cool book. I actually had Gambit's first appearance, X-Men 266, and I sold it more than a year ago thinking that I was actually going to turn around and get another copy, get a 9.8 or something like that. I haven't done it, and I need to. I need to, because especially now that I have the 9.8 of the cameo, I need that 266. So fingers crossed that I can actually find that. I've been looking for it in the collection, and I don't think that it's in here. I don't think that I'm going to find it, which means that I'm probably going to have to buy it, which is fine. And it's one of those things where an opportunity presented itself to sell that book. I took that opportunity. I don't regret it. I just wish that I had immediately turned around and bought the 9.8, because that was the plan. And I want to say that mine was maybe a 9.2, a 9.4. It's been so long that I've kind of blocked it out. But this one is the exact same book, only it came back at a 9.6. So again, Gambit's cameo appearance. And not a bad grade. Not a bad grade at a 9.6. Let's see what else we have in here. Ooh, this one's awesome. This is one that has some potential. I think that this one has a little bit of potential right here. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 4. This is where Cindy Moon becomes Silk. Really cool book. I think that that character has some potential. So definitely a cool book right there. Came back at a 9.8 right there. And then another copy of that exact same book, also the same grade, which again, you cannot complain about when that happens. And I think we have, I don't know, 8 more books. This is a big box. This is a big box of books. So this is one that's really cool. I am thoroughly excited about this particular book. This one is Batman 635. First, Jason Todd as the Red Hood. Just a really, really cool book. Came back at a 9.8. Definitely a cool book right there. Let's see what else we have in here. I think there's 2 copies of that one as well. And indeed there is. And that one too came back at a 9.8 right there. Very cool. It's a large stack of books. I want to say that this is one of the larger invoices that I've had with CGC in quite some time. A lot of mine have been much smaller than this, but this is a healthy number of books here. This is Amazing Spider-Man 361. This is a Mark Bagley book, but this one is actually the second print. This is the second printing, so it is not the white cover. It is actually the silver foil cover. And I want to say I have 2 copies of the first printing at CGC now, and I'm certain that those will be back at some point. But 2 copies of this one here as well. Again, this one came in at a 9.8, the second print, which is really interesting, because the 9.8 is actually, of the second printing, is actually going up in value, which is interesting. I mean, it's not exactly an inexpensive book to be a second print. This one's cool. I think there's several copies of this one. This is Thor 339. This is the first appearance of Stormbreaker. I actually went back and read a lot of this Beta Ray Bill Stormbreaker stuff back when I was doing a video on the Heralds of Galactus. And I never really read about Beta Ray Bill, but it was that video and that series on the Heralds was an opportunity for me to go back and read some of those things. So I did, and I actually enjoyed it, and was lucky enough to actually find multiple copies of Thor 339 in the collection. So I think that there's maybe 3 or 4 copies of that particular book in here. So the end of this video may go really quickly, because they may all be the same down here at the end. And I will tell you that a healthy number of these books will be available for sale on my website, regiecollects.com. So if you are interested, a lot of these will be posted there for folks to take advantage of. And again, the last one is also Thor 339. So a healthy number of that particular book in there. And again, massive stack of books. This again was not a pre-screen. This was just a straight submission. Whatever those books came back at is how we handle them. A lot of times I do the pre-screen, but again with these, because of the range of books, there was just a lot of differences there. I knew it wouldn't be mostly 9/8s or 9/6s or 9/4s or whatever, so I just rolled the dice and we actually came back with some pretty awesome books. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, I want to encourage you to hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment behind, so we can mix it up in the comments section. If you need to reach out to me, you can do that on Instagram at Regie Collects, or you can send me a message at reggie@regiecollects.com. And again, if there is any books that you saw in this video that you're interested in, these books will be available on my website, regiecollects.com. They will all feature a Pedigree sticker on them that is actually removable if you don't want to have the book continue to be identified as such, but they will all be sent out with the sticker on the back side. Like I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I certainly want to encourage you to do that. That way you can stay abreast of all the content that gets released from the channel on a weekly basis. Take care.